Alright guys, so this is going to be an introduction on how to use the scan tool. This is applicable in your advanced electric classes as well as your AT 208 air conditioning. You're going to use it in drivability and obviously in shop classes. For this particular demonstration, we're going to use a Matco Maximus 2.0. There are a lot of different scan tools on the market. They all function similarly, maybe not exactly the same. Alright, so here's the vehicle we're looking at today, guys. 2010 Dodge Ram 1500. This is a personal vehicle belonging to school personnel. And we're going to go through kind of the service writer's first step in looking at how to pull some codes, how to pull some data, and the technician's steps in seeing that data and how to interpret some of it. So there'll be more than one part to this video. But today we're going to hook the scan tool up and we're going to pull the data. So when you walk up to the vehicle, you're going to look for the data link connector. Now, the data link connector is right here under the dash. Okay. Usually it's always on the left-hand side. By law it should be, but different manufacturers will have it in different places, and we plug the dongle for the scan tool into that. Now, we also have to make sure that the vehicle is placed in the key on position. So we don't want the engine running, but we want everything on. So it's that last position before you start the vehicle. Now, as we pull out, we're going to come back. I have the scan tool set up already. And we are going to use the scan tool. Now, I can set up, I can also use this option here. What this will do is it will actually allow the scan tool to pull the bin and then decode the bin so it can figure out certain options without me having to put those in. So you see Chrysler in the bin. And it's going to look for what systems are already involved here. It's also giving me fault codes. So it's doing a health check almost immediately. So as you look, it's giving you different fault codes and what system they're on. So if we go into HVAC, we're going to enter that system. We can then read the fault code. And it gives us the code number, a brief description, and it's going to say stored or active. So this was a stored code. This was something that happened in the past. Doing it again for the body control module. So you see we have 3 active codes. They all happen to be lighting codes, control circuit codes. So these are things we want to check on. Now, knowing the history of this vehicle, I know that those codes actually go towards the fact that this vehicle has had LEDs put in certain lighting positions, which the CAN bus circuit has a problem reading. Now, in a second, we're going to go start the vehicle, and we're going to come back and we're going to look at a little bit of data. Alright, so we have started the vehicle. So now we can actually look at some of the data. We're going to go into the powertrain control module. we're actually going to read the data. Now, there's a whole multitude of different things. There are 186 different, we call them PIDs, parameter IDs. But just to look at a few things, we can look at AC, high side pressure. We can look at the accelerator pedal. Cam and crank difference. So I just picked a few just so we could look at them. Alright, sorry. So as we're looking at the different data, we can see a high side pressure. We can see an accelerator pedal pressure. We can see what's called a cam crank difference, where it's looking at how many degrees different those two are. Is the cam and the crank in sync? Then what's the coolant temperature? Now you can do this with a ton of other data, but this is a good way where you can start. Just something to bear in mind. This was kind of an entry to cam tools. We were just looking at what you can do with cam tools, what you can read from them, how you're going to use the diagram, whether that be air conditioning, whether it be drivability from things, even our service. So you can use the diagram. So that's how we look it up, that's how we get to some of the different features, and how we can put them live.